Hello everyone, myself Pratibha Sonone from Sri Jain Vidya Prasarak Mandal's Rasiklal M. Dhariwal College of Pharmacy, Chinchod, Pune. Today here we are going to discuss about definition, history and scope of pharmacognosy. In this video, you will be able to understand what is the definition of pharmacognosy, what are the different sources of crude drugs, and what is the scope of pharmacognosy. First, we will study or discuss about the pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy is defined as the scientific and systematic study of structural, physical, chemical and biological characters of crude drugs along with their history, method of cultivation, collection and preparation for the market. Here we study different drugs which are obtained from the natural sources and their systematic study, scientific study of structure, its physical nature, chemical nature and different biological characters of the crude drugs. With the cultivation, how they are cultivated, how they are collected and how they are prepared for the market. Pharmacognosy is the study of crude drugs obtained from the plants, animals and mineral sources and their constituents. The word pharmacognosy is derived from the Greek word known as pharmakon, that means a drug, and gignosko, that means to acquire knowledge of. Pharmacognosy is the word prepared by the scientist Sidler. What do you mean by crude drugs? The drugs which are obtained from natural sources like plants, animals, minerals, and they are used as such. They occur in the nature without any processing except drying and size reduction. That means the crude drugs, these are the drugs which you are obtaining from the natural sources. For example, plants, animals and mineral sources, and you are using it as such. You are not going to process anything on it except drying and size reduction. Now, what are the different sources of the crude drugs? First one, plant or vegetable source. For example, tulsi, turmeric and ginger. Second source, animal sources. Example, honey, beeswax and gelatin. Third one, mineral sources. Example, chalk, talc and bentonite. Fourth, marine sources. Example, agar, cod liver oil and shark liver oil. Different scientists were contributed in the development of pharmacognosy. Here we see some of them. Hippocrates. He was the great physician known as father of medicine because he studied anatomy and physiology of human beings, particularly with the circulatory systems and nervous system. He prepared a famous oath for the physicians, which is still taken by the physicians. That's why he is also called as a father of medicine. Second scientist was the Galen. Galen, he was a Greek pharmacist in 131 to 200 AD. He worked on the extraction of chemical constituents from the plants. Chemical constituents, these are the agents which are available in the drugs and which are having therapeutic activity. Extraction means you have to remove these chemicals, separate these chemical constituents from the crude drug. So, the Greek scientist Galen, he developed or he worked on the different extraction methods of chemical constituents from the plants. He developed various methods for extraction. Therefore, the branch of pharmacy which deals with the extraction of chemical constituents from plants and animals is called as Galenical pharmacy. He also described various methods of formulation of plant and animal drugs. Charak. Charak was one of the principal contributors to the ancient art and science of Ayurveda. He studied physiology, etiology, and embryology. He described different medicinal properties of the several plants, and his collection is known as the Charak Samhita. The Charak Samhita, it contains about 120 chapters divided into 8 parts. He divided medicinal plants in 50 groups with 10 plants in each. Next scientist was the Shushruta. He was an Indian physician and surgeon. He knew about 1500 formulations of natural products obtained from the plants, animals, and mineral sources. He prepared 7 sets of 760 herbs. He used to operate on various systems and organs in human body and animals. He is known as the father of surgery, and his collection is known as the Sushruta Samhita. Seidler. Seidler was a German scientist, and he coined the term pharmacognosy in 1815. He wrote a book known as Analecta Pharmacognostica, which contains different crude drugs obtained from the natural sources. And he also coined the term pharmacognosy. That is, pharmakon means a drug and gignosko means to study of, to acquire knowledge of. Another scientist was Aristotle. He was a renowned philosopher and also known as he studied the animal kingdom. Theophrastus, he wrote about plants and described medicinal uses of the plants. And lastly, the Dioscorides, a Greek physician of the 1st century AD, was the writer of the Materia Medica. Here he described about 600 medicinal plants including belladonna, colchicum, opium, and hyoscyamus. So these are the all scientists who contributed in the development of pharmacognosy. Now we'll see what is the history of pharmacognosy in India. It is about 5500 years old. In the Suktas of Rigveda and Atharvaveda, medicinal property of the plants is given. There are several medicinal plants which are given with their uses in Rigveda and Atharvaveda. The old Ayurveda books Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita describe medicinal plants. Many medicinal plants. Now, what is the traditional Indian systems? What are the different traditional Indian systems of medicine? In that, first one is Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Naturopathy and Yoga. And lastly, Homeopathy. First we will see traditional system of medicine or indigenous system of medicine, that is Ayurveda. Ayurveda, it is the ancient system of medicine in India. The word Ayurveda is derived from word Ayu, that meaning is life, and Veda means knowledge. Means Ayurveda is the knowledge of life. In Ayurveda, there is a supposition that everything in the universe is made up of 5 basic elements. That is called as a Pancha Mahabhuta, like solid, liquid, air, space and energy. These are the 5 basic elements which are called as the Pancha Mahabhutas. These 5 elements exist in the body in combined form like Vata, Pitta and Kapha. These 3 forms are together called as a Tridosha. The 7 forms of Tridosha are called as a Saptadhatu. These Saptadhatu undergo wear and tear processes and form excretory material or mala. When these Tridosh, Saptadhatu and mala are in balanced form, the condition is healthy. But if it is in the imbalanced form, there are pathological disorders. That means when there is imbalance between tridosha, that is vata, pitta, kapha, and saptadhatu and mala, that time it leads to the pathological disorders or diseases. In Ayurveda, Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita are two well-known treatises. In Charak Samhita, description of plants used as medicine are included, and in Sushruta Samhita, emphasis is given on surgery. Sushruta was an Indian physician and surgeon. He knew about 1500 formulations of natural products obtained from plants, animals, and minerals. He used to operate on various systems and organs in human body and animals. His collection is known as Sushruta Samhita. Now, what are the different branches of Ayurveda? First one, Kaya Chikitsa, which is also called as the internal medicines. Second, Kaumarya Bhritya, that is pediatrics, means for small children. Then Traka Chikitsa, that is psychological medicines. Fourth one, Shalyakatantra, that is otorhinolaryngology and ophthalmology. Then Shalyatantra, that is surgery. Then Aghada Tantra, that is called as a toxicology. And lastly Rasayana Tantra, which is also called as a geriatrics. And Vajikaran Tantra, that is eugenics and aphrodisiac. Now, what are the different formulations used in Ayurveda are? First one is the Bhasma. Bhasma means oxides of metals. Here the whole crude drug is burned at higher temperatures and you will get the oxides of metals. Second one, Quatha, which is also called as the extracts. Then Gutika, which is also called as a pills or tablets. Then Lepa, that is ointment. Asava and Arishta, that is alcohol containing liquids. Powder forms and medicated oils. Second system of medicine in India is Siddha system of medicine. Siddha, the term Siddha means achievement, and Siddhas were saintly personalities who attained proficiency in medicines through practice of bhakti and yoga. This system is of pre-Vedic period, identified with Dravidian culture, and it is largely therapeutic in nature. It believes that all the objects in the universe is made up of 5 elements: earth, sky, water, fire and air. The identification of a disease is done with pulse reading, color of body, study of voice, urine examination, status of digestive system and examination of the tongue. Natural drugs used in Siddha system of medicine is Abini, that is Papaver somniferum, then Alari, that is Nerium indica, then Gomathi, that is Datura stramonium, and Rothapolam, that is Aloe barbadensis. Third system of medicine is naturopathy and yoga. It is not a system of treatment but a way of life which is based on law of nature. The attention is given to specially eating and living habits, adopting of purificatory measures and use of hydrotherapy, mud packs, baths and massage. The system of yoga is as old as Ayurveda. The 8 components of yoga are restraint, observance of austerity, physical posture, restraining of sense organs, breathing exercises, contemplation, meditation and samadhi. Yoga improves better circulation of oxygenated blood in the body restraining the sense organs, improvement of social and personal behavior, and induction of tranquility and serenity in the mind. Now lastly we'll see what is the scope of pharmacognosy. In that first one, cultivation and domestication of medicinal plants. India imports many drugs such as benzoin, storax, tolu balsam, etc. If the cultivation of these drugs producing plants are carried out and cultivated in India, a lot of foreign exchange can be saved, which will be helpful in the development of the country and is also essential to fulfill the demand of phytochemicals industries. Second scope, that is analysis of phytochemicals. Many bioactive molecules are extracted and isolated from the crude drugs. These are analyzed by modern techniques such as different types of chromatography. Preparation of general tonics and stimulants. There are a number of diseases for which allopathic drugs have no cure. For example, liver disorders, arthritis, AIDS, etc. Some of the Ayurvedic formulations based on the crude drugs are found very effective in these diseases. For example, liver 52, levomine, etc. In steroid industry, diosgenin is an important precursor obtained from Dioscorea, used for the production of steroidal drugs such as sex hormones, contraceptives, and corticosteroids. Fifth scope, herbal preparation. Generally, 80% of the world population rely on herbal preparations due to their high effectiveness, low cost, easy availability, and less side effects. Preparation of antibiotics. Antibiotics are very useful in maintaining the health of people, are obtained from the natural sources. 7. Flavoring agents and perfumes. There are large number of aromatic plants which are extensively used as flavoring agents, perfumes, in spices and medicines. Tissue culture. This technique is nowadays widely applicable for the production of secondary metabolites. People are using this technique to increase the yield of bioactive molecules. Thank you.